Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. Is this normal? Need support? About 6 months ago I found out my boyfriend had cheated on me. Apparently twice. When it first happened I went numb. It was such a massive shock. I didn't speak to him for a bit, but then I took him back. I think it hurt so bad that I didn't want to believe it happened. It ripped me apart, plus I had other problems going on in my life then, and I can't describe it. I'm sure you know. Fast forward a few months, he showers me with gifts, pays for me to get a breast enlargement, and buys me pretty much everything. During this period I was slowly coming back to my senses, and whenever I tried to bring anything up he would get angry, smash things up, throw things, grab me, scream and say duck you, etc. Until now, I finally came back to my senses fully after all this time, and I think to myself nearly every day, why the duck am I putting up with a man like this? My only problem is, whenever I try and leave, something weird happens. When I tell him how I feel, he twists everything so much that I go dumbfounded, no words come out my mouth, my mind goes completely blank. I just lose everything that I want to say. He always flips it and says, how do you think it makes me feel when you don't trust me, get insecure and accuse me, I'm a changed man. He just twists my words and I don't know. I really can't describe it. So my question is, has anyone else just been so numb at first and stayed, then finally came to their senses? Every time I look at him I get so angry and disgusted. Thanks guys. It's hard, but you have to leave. Sounds like he is a narcissist, cheater, and it won't stop. He's a changed man. Wahaha. No. Please read Chump Lady blog and her book. This is gaslighting and manipulation. Please leave, no one deserves to be in a relationship like that. Also, the fact that he smashes/hits things is scary, and I hope it doesn't scale to the point where he physically assaults you, so please be careful and protect yourself. I can imagine how hard it is to let go of someone you once cared about, but at this point you deserve much better. That going numb is your panic button being triggered, it's the freeze response. I would bet $1 million you have a parent or caretaker who does or says things that produce the same response in you. When they cornered you and scared you, you had no option to escape. This time you do. Cover your ears and walk away. Don't wait for him to give you permission. Don't even tell him. Just leave him when he's not around. Pack up your stuff and go. How does it make him feel when you don't trust him? Your lack of trust is well deserved. He earned it. If he's a changed man, he needs to demonstrate that, not just say it. You are being manipulated. He's upset that you didn't sweep it under the rug. He ducked up, and he needs to put in the work to fix it. If he's not willing to do that, you should walk away. You don't owe him this relationship. He needs to either put in the work to fix what he broke, or you should end it. If he wanted you to trust him, cheating and throwing tantrums is not the way to earn that. I had a similar experience a few years ago. Anytime I tried to initiate the breakup conversation, I was immediately gaslighted and left wondering if I was actually remembering real things he said, or did that hurt me, or if I was making them up. The only way to get a clean break from a relationship like this is to do the breakup via text/social media, and block him everywhere immediately after. Go full ghost after you say what you need to. If possible, stay with a friend or relative for a few days so you don't have to worry about him showing up at your house to try and fix things. 100% how I feel in my marriage now. It is not normal, it's definitely gaslighting. If you can, leave while he's out and just leave a note or text him. He will not let you go willingly. If he's already showing signs of physical aggression like smashing things, it's possible he may become physically violent with you. To protect yourself and to get out, go when he's not home. You don't owe it to him to stick around and explain why you're leaving. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me guess, he overtalked to you, doesn't let you get your sentences out and talks in circles. He's highly manipulative. He's messing up your self-esteem and making you question yourself. There's only one way to get away from the situation, and that's take off when he's not looking and go full no contact, because he will not change. If he's being physical with you whatsoever, I'm not talking about punching you or slapping you, I'm talking about grabbing your arm or not letting you go somewhere, it will get worse. I'm really sorry you're going through this, and I hope you're able to figure it out. If you get away from this guy, do not go back. Reconciliation is terrible. Rant? I feel so angry all the time. It's been a year since D-Day. Yes, there have been some good times within the year since, but even when there are good times, there's always the niggling feeling in the back of your head knowing they cheated. For me personally, what a load of shit. I could have been done with him by now and moved on if I had left him a year ago today. I think about the other woman constantly. I can't move on while I'm with him. I've learned, and I regret ever giving him the chance to rekindle and try again with me. It pains me so much, and I honestly feel in a worse state now than I did a year ago too. He says to me, "Why are you still upset about events that happened a year ago?" I honestly don't even know how to reply to that. I just do, that's why. Why are you still upset, Jesus? Classic question. Oh, I don't know, because you shredded all my trust and hurt me to my core. Woman facepalming. When trust is broken, it takes an immeasurable amount of consistent effort to regain. Anything less just won't cut it. Your feelings are valid. I believe you should cut your losses. I did, and it was the hardest right thing to do. People who are emotionally immature don't think of time as a continuum. They see every individual event as either past, present or future. Sure, they can reflect on the past, they rarely do, and can think on the future, rare do here either, and live entirely in the now. It's why the pursuit of gratification leads them to an affair. His inability to understand or empathize with how his actions wounded you is probably why you still resent him. For him to act like you should pick up and move on with him because he decided it was forever ago and not worth worrying about in the moment is narcissism and immaturity. Wow. Yes, wow. I'd never heard it spelled out like this, and this is so helpful. You are never late to dump a cheating ass. He doesn't seem to care. Reconciliation won't work. Why are you still upset about events that happened a year ago? Next time he says that, just answer like this: okay, I cannot explain, so why don't I give you a practical example? Let me doll up, get really pretty, and then spend the night out banging some random dude, then greet you in the morning with his jizz all over my face, then I'll ask you why you are upset about something that has happened already. Honestly, that's why reconciliation has a huge failure rate. It's not something that takes weeks or months, it takes years, years of constant anger, years of constant triggers, years of controlling and monitoring because you can't trust anything he says. And for him is years of groveling, years of taking the anger, the bursts of rage, the sudden fights because of triggers, and the permanent letting go of or drastically changing much of his previous like and habits because he can no longer be trusted to be alone. And all of that is for a maybe it will work. It takes excruciating effort and pain on both sides, and any wavering on either side puts it all to lose. Yes, it looks like a prison, that's why it works so little. The cheater must be willing to live and be treated as a convicted criminal serving time without parole for as long as it takes. And even then it might never heal the betrayed. After reading your previous post, it's clear he is not at all remorseful and is being emotionally abusive to you. He thinks he can just buy off your forgiveness. Sorry to say, there is nothing in this relationship for you. Unless you are a completely desperate money digger, it's time to bail. Yeah, I had stopped reading r/us after infidelity because those stories are just as bad as here. There was one where the guy was cheating on his wife with hookers for 25 plus years, and she was talking about he has an issue and we're trying to fix it. WTF. Then another guy took his ex back after she slept with his dad and brother. I honestly don't get it, because working to forgive really makes the relationship stronger, or is that all BS the media puts out to keep broken families together? I was banned from posting on that forum after I suggested to a woman there that got an apology message from her husband AP to tell the woman to F herself. Apparently it was too edgy. But yeah, haven't been there afterwards and happy for it. What they preach in that forum is reconciliation at all costs. Just forgive and forget and go on believing all will be okay because the cheater said it won't happen again. They just try to force this idiocy that sweeping it all under the rug will make it okay. It won't. Yeah, I would have told her to say the same thing. What I noticed, a lot of men would leave if they could see their children not be financially ruined and found a better option for their wives instead of being alone. The women would leave if they weren't pregnant on D-Day. They are afraid of not finding a connection again with someone who cares about a connection with a demon. They could financially afford it, and the dark future of being a single mom. This is about 95% on there, which correlates why a lot of time it doesn't work. Relationships and marriage are like a plane of glass. When everything is going great, the glass is nice and clean. Sometimes the glass gets dirty, too busy with stuff, you both lose focus, and needs to be cleaned. Sometimes the glass gets chipped or small cracks appear. Disrespect by a partner, that can be repaired if done quickly. If the chip or crack isn't repaired, it grows in size quickly, spider webbing across the marriage. Then, it breaks. Once it breaks, this glass can never be put back to like new. The repair will still have so many cracks it's not recognizable. Miss, your husband broke this glass, doesn't grasp how bad he did, and doesn't seem to care about getting you both a new glass. I feel it's time for you to move on. You lost your first opportunity to leave, don't beat yourself up for that. But the best next opportunity to leave is right now. Why live in a cage of misery created by someone else? Why waste your precious time with someone who doesn't even acknowledge your hurt? I can see why reconciliation is going so poorly for you. Your partner is incapable of empathizing with how he made you feel. His attempt to rug sweep it is a huge part of your lack of recovery. Many people who attempt reconciliation get to the point you do, where the pain gets unbearable and you finally realize you can't do it anymore. That you're not recovering and stuck in a do loop. It's okay to admit it's over. That's far more honest than anything he ever did. So just be honest with him. I've said it before, almost 5 years here. Moving from anger to apathy. The thought and visions never go away. They get less frequent but are there forever. Has he gone to therapy? Has he been working on rebuilding the trust with you? Are you in therapy? It takes a good 3 to 5 years or more for reconciliation to actually work, and that is if everything was done right. Even so, some just will never be able to move forward in that relationship again. It's a fact both WP/WS and BP/BS must face and accept. A year ago, your WP needed to get his head out of his ass. He needs to do the heavy lifting or he needs to move on. I feel this, 100, whoever said indifference is the key, is so wise. If you choose to stay, you need to be either all in, and exposed to the vulnerability that a marriage brings, or you need to become indifferent. Marriage is a lot of things and a different experience for everyone. If you must stay in the marriage for practical reasons, you have to become indifferent to the person you're with. As soon as you worry or care about them, you become vulnerable. I think this is different from reconciliation, which has to be all in to work. Acceptance of a less than great situation is okay too if it's the best option in a list of terrible choices. Maybe it's temporary, maybe it's long term, but there are a lot of reasons to stay as a matter of survival. You need to be honest with yourself and what you really want and work toward that goal. It's time to move on. I'm sorry for your troubles. Plan your exit and work the plan. Life is too short and unpredictable to spend it unhappy. Good luck. So leave. You have every right. Do you want to look back in another year's time and regret wasting one more year, only to have your clearly unremorseful so still asking you why you're still upset? Don't stay just because you invested 1 year in reconciliation. If you can't forgive and forget, then move on. When I found out just how bad my last cheater showed her true colors, I was jaded enough to stick it out till I was set up to leave. I made damn sure that my departure would be sudden, dramatic and painful. I was 55 and this was the 6th cheater that I had the misfortune of having a marriage or serious later with. You can always try to fix your mistakes. You can't fix his, nor should you try. Your mistake was in taking him back and teaching him there will be no consequences for his actions. You can fix that by doing right now what you should have done immediately. His question about a year leads me to think he's not doing his part of this process. If he will not engage, you will write this next year too. He needs some sort of wake up. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.